President Zelensky says Russian shelling has destroyed 113 churches in Ukraine since start of war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russian artillery has destroyed 113 churches during the full-scale war with Ukraine. In his nightly address on Saturday, Zelensky said, "Among them are the ancient ones, those that withstood World War II, but did not withstand the Russian occupation. There are also those that were built after 1991. Reconstruction of the Skeet of All Saints of the Sviatohorsk Lavra began in 2001. June 10 would be another anniversary of the beginning of construction," he said. Earlier Saturday, CNN reported All Saints Church in Sviatohorsk Lavra was destroyed by Russian shelling. Zelensky noted in his address it is not the first shelling of the Lavra, and 3 Lavra monks were killed by the Russian shelling on Wednesday. Worship services are forced to be held in the basement, according to the president. The sounds of incoming Russian artillery are constant in the Lavra. Zelensky pointed out Sviatohorsk Lavra belongs to Ukrainian Orthodox Church, which is still considered in Moscow to be connected with the Russian Orthodox Church. But even this does not stop the Russian army. In the light of the support of the Orthodox hierarchs in Russia for the aggression against Ukraine, Zelensky called on the Ukrainian Orthodox Church to draw conclusions. The Russian army can stop burning churches. The Russian army can stop destroying cities. The Russian army can stop killing children. If the same person in Moscow just gives such an order, and the fact that there is still no such order is an obvious humiliation for the whole world," he said. 5 people reported killed in multiple explosions close to city of Donetsk. The Russian state news agency TASS said 5 civilians were killed and 20 were injured Saturday as a result of multiple explosions close to the city of Donetsk by the Ukrainian army. The city is held by the self-declared Donetsk People's Republic, but is rarely shelled by Ukrainian forces. Ukrainian officials have not commented on the explosions. The DPR said on its Telegram channel 10 Grad rockets had been fired at the Kirov district of the city, the headquarters of the Territorial Defense of the DPR said. As a result of the shelling in Donetsk, the number of wounded increased to 10 people. Ukrainian Defense Minister says optimistic forecast sees war over by end of the year. Oleksiy Reznikov, the Ukrainian Defense Minister, said it is hard to predict when the war will end, but my optimistic projection is that it may end by the end of the year. Reznikov was speaking at the GlobeSec 2022 forum in Bratislava in Slovakia. He said Ukrainian defense forces still need heavy weapons, primarily MLRS, as well as other artillery, tanks, anti-ship systems, unmanned systems, missiles and air defenses. We need them quickly and in quantities commensurate with the scale of the threats. Ukraine found itself in a state of war without adequate support from the democratic world, he said. The situation is changing now, but slowly. We appreciate the contribution of each country which is currently with Ukraine, which has committed itself to increase the effectiveness of international support, Reznikov. He added, Ukraine has changed its philosophy in the supply of weapons. If in the first month of the war we focused on obtaining anti-tank and anti-aircraft portable systems, now the nature of the war has changed and we need more heavy weapons. In the Kherson region, the Russian army is building a deeply echeloned defense. Our goal is to prevent Russian scenarios from being realized and to liberate our territories as soon as possible, he said. Russian forces are carrying out missile and air attacks in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, according to Ukrainian military, as troops seek to capture the key cities of Severodonetsk and Slavyansk. Fighting in the east, Russia's air activity remains high over eastern Ukraine and has contributed to Russia's recent tactical successes, but has failed to have a meaningful impact on the conflict, according to the latest intelligence assessment from the UK's defense ministry. The Ukrainian military maintains that the Russians are making little progress, particularly in Donetsk. In Slavyansk, Hundreds of people have fled as the Ukrainian military said Russian units are being reinforced on the approaches to the city in preparation to resume an offensive. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said Friday the Russians are concentrating a force of up to 20 battalion tactical groups in the area. Artillery was used against several settlements north of the city, according to a military spokesman. The Russian army is throwing all its reserves into capturing the city of Severodonetsk in the Luhansk region, according to the head of the regional military administration. The official said Ukraine controls about half of the city after regaining ground from Russian troops, and street battles continue to play out. Church destroyed. The All Saints Church in Sviatohorsk, whose original temple dates back to 1526, was destroyed, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Saturday. Video shows a roaring fire coming out of the picturesque wooden building dotted with onion domes. Zelensky said it was first damaged during the Soviet era. Ukrainian Foreign Minister slams Macron. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba reacted angrily to comments by French President Emmanuel Macron that we must not humiliate Russia. Kuleba said that it is Russia that humiliates itself. We all better focus on how to put Russia in its place. This will bring peace and save lives. Multiple explosions close to city of Donetsk. The city of Donetsk at dusk local time on Saturday showed multiple explosions close to the city, apparently from incoming artillery or rocket fire. The city is held by the self-declared Donetsk People's Republic, but is rarely shelled by Ukrainian forces. The DPR said on its Telegram channel that 10 Grad rockets had been fired at the Kirov district of the city. The headquarters of the Territorial Defense of the DPR said that as a result of the shelling in Donetsk, the number of wounded increased to 10 people. Russia throwing all its reserves at Severodonetsk, according to regional Ukrainian official. From CNN's Maria Knight, Tim Lister, and Alexandra Olkman. The Russian army is throwing all its reserves into capturing the city of Severodonetsk in the eastern Luhansk region, according to Serhiy Haidai, the head of the regional military administration. They had previously managed to capture most of the city, but now our military has pushed them back, Haidai told Ukrainian television, claiming the Russians are suffering huge losses. Haidai also said Chechen forces who appear to have thought the battle was won had entered the city. He said the Russians were trying to demolish bridges so that we cannot provide reinforcements to our guys who are in Severodonetsk, who are defending the Luhansk. They are really afraid that the success of our defenders will develop, and this can be done if ammunition, weapons and reinforcements are provided in time. This is the first thing they are afraid of. Earlier Saturday, Haidai said Ukraine now controls about half of Severodonetsk. He was responding to a question about the latest UK intelligence assessment, which had predicted Russia would control all of the Luhansk region within 2 weeks. The humanitarian situation is difficult in the area, he added. At present, we can neither evacuate people nor bring humanitarian aid, for example, to Severodonetsk. The only places where we can deliver humanitarian cargo, food, medicine, are Lysychansk and the Kursk community, which are to the south of Severodonetsk, he said. Even in Lysychansk, we are shelled, but daily we continue to transport humanitarian goods by trucks. We may even evacuate people, but quietly, without publicity, because the Russian army is shooting at evacuation buses, Haidai claimed. Oleksandr Stryak, head of the Severodonetsk military administration, said late Saturday that street battles continue in the city, and our military is doing everything to drive the enemy out of the city. Stryak said that residential areas of the city are now divided in half. Street battles are being fought, which is accompanied by constant artillery shelling. The situation is quite tense, but there is hope and confidence in our armed forces that everything will work out. The city remains Ukrainian, he said. He said there had been about 13,000 people in the city before it was stormed by Russian troops, but some had been forcibly removed to the occupied territory.